G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard, and this will be a nice big gap in the middle of my Knackers Yard between the Thundercat, i.e. my daily rider, who's a bit cleaner than last time you saw him because he did get a bucket of water thrown over him, and Sting, who is ready for MOT. But there's a gap and I need to fill it, and I was trying to fill it with the CD175, but didn't quite work out that way. Basically the guy was a little bit slow in getting back to me, and another opportunity came to me instead. Now, it was a bike that I was looking at before I saw the CD175, and I started chatting with the guy, and unfortunately it had already gone, but it hadn't, because I've now got it. So the guy that sort of snaffled it before, and I did mention this a couple of days back, or a couple of uploads back actually, the guy that snaffled it was messing him around about picking it up. So he offered it, and yeah, brill, awesome, and he even dropped it off. And I had a lovely long chat with him about it as well. So what is it? It's a 1998 Triumph Sprint that has been slightly ratted. Is all in thorough working order. It has a full daytime MOT. It has no full MOT because it doesn't have any indicators, although allegedly it still has all the wiring and the loom for it, so it should be a relatively simple piece. The guy that had it basically built it over a year. The guy that I bought it from built it over a year, so it's a new engine that's been stripped. It's a different engine than the original bike. It's been stripped and rebuilt completely, as is the carb, so both of those are fine and sorted. Brakes have been... Please do not adjust your audio. You are not doing anything wrong. This is me doing stuff wrong because my microphone bloody ran out of charge. Mostly because I wasn't expecting to film anymore today, but just by way of a little bit of voiceover, just really giving the bike a quick once over just to see what I think I want to do with it. But I'll go more into that later in terms of stuff that I want to do and stuff that I need to do. But just continuing the slight wander round of the bike, looking at the rear end particularly looks okay. I do have issues over where I'm going to put the license plate, but the one thing that really surprised me about this bike is the fact that it has only had 2 previous users, or previous owners, which is unheard of for me. I'm normally in sort of 5+, and in some cases double figures, but really quite cool. There's a couple of odd quirks kicking about the bike that surprised me. The principal one being the clocks that are sat up at a really daft angle. Now, the previous owner had mounted those and had struggled to get the analog speedo cable to reach or to fit, so he just basically threw them on the side. I think it was a temporary measure, and at some point or another he was going to put a GPS unit in there. Also on there I do have the manual fan override, sorry. He fitted that as I'm seeing it more and more within London bikes where people just get concerned about, constantly being sat at lights or in traffic jams with a hot engine. So the thermostat does allegedly work, but there's the fan on there as well. Now, I'll cut off here because there's no point me showing you a startup because you're not going to be able to hear it. So let's do it on the bike. Okay, some really clumsy editing, but it's now Sunday, but I couldn't do the video without you being able to hear a startup if nothing else. So try with no choke to start with. That's put his baffles in as well.
on the smoky side, but you know, cold, it'll sort itself out.
Don't sound too shoddy to me. Happy. Okay, so let's take the Sprint out for a quick bimble up and down the road. Oh, see if we can get a feel for each other a little bit and see if I can manage it without hitting my wife's car. It feels quite industrial. I know that sounds bloody stupid, but you know what I'm saying. I know a lot of people don't, particularly London-wise, don't bother with mirrors because they just get knocked off all the time, but I don't like not having mirrors on a bike. I feel a little bit naked, a bit exposed. Jesus, that wants to go. I wasn't quite ready for that. Now the guy that I bought it from very kindly dropped it off for me. It's only half hour away, but it's quite comforting when somebody's dropping off a bike that they're riding around, because you know it got to you, which is a good start. Got some punch to it. It's not lazy. I suppose it's a 900cc bike, so it's not going to be that lazy. I don't know why I've just indicated. Talk about force of habit. It hasn't got an eating that, you fucking idiot. He wants to sit up. It's got a big ass back wheel. Ooh. Yeah, industrial is probably the best way that I can describe it. It does feel a bit steampunky. Just saying that, it's also got that oil. Oil? Is that oil? Or is that... No, it's coolant temperature dial on it. That does make it feel a little bit... look a little bit industrial. It's just weird having those clocks on an angle like that. Right. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Fuck me. Yeah, that's nippy. I think I'll avoid all the kids playing in the road. That'd be nice. Oh, that'd be neutral. This is lovely. It's actually quite civilised for a bit of a beast. Oh, there's a learner. I think I'll steer clear of there. This is nice. He's a big old unit, considering he's quite so short. It's a big heavy unit. That throttle control is bang on. Nice, nice. Right, let's get this kit off.
and we'll have a little bit more of a close look, I think.
Right, back from a little cruise out on the normal mic, because my proper mics have just run out. Let's go for a little bit of an examine. So fresh back from that little run, and I'm fucking well happy. It rides beautifully. It feels quite bulky, feels heavy, feels there. Good road presence, like it a lot. So what have we got? We've got front brakes are fine. There's no real scoring or anything on the discs, which is nice. He said he'd done the pads. Yeah, I'll have a look. But ditto with the fork seals. I hate doing fork seals, so that's handy. He's done those. Brill. The light's got an LED light on here. It's a little bit Heath Robinson in terms of how it's mounted, but it works. LED light seems to be all good in the hood. No idea if that's any good at all. Have to wait there. Any good as in no idea if you can actually see anything through it. As I say, no indicators. Brakes fine, radiator fine. There's no obvious dents or chunks out of it. Like I said, engine's new. The guy got it from a guy that was saving it for a project that had kind of moved on from it. Custom covers apparently. I'm not entirely sure how, but they look fucking cool. So engine fine, carb fine. He said he was toying with the idea of getting rid of the airbox because it sets a lot of the styling because it's just so big. But I think he was counselled against it in terms of Triumph's not running very well off pods. I'm inclined to agree. I've yet to find any bikes that work well off pods. But yeah, we shall see. Tank, a couple of dents, nothing that can't be sorted. My wife loves the Triumph on the front, on the side, so do I. I don't like the certified cable technician, but hey, can't have everything. He did say that the battery, you know, these bikes need a full battery, otherwise they get really huffy and they don't want to start. So because of that, he has done some battery bodge cables so you can charge on the hoof, if you like, which is handy. Swing arm is dirty, but fine. Shock looks, again, dirty, but fine. It's just mud, it's just dry mud, that's fine. It's not hoiked down particularly far either. Might have to think about that when it comes to mounting a number plate. Exhausts, they're not tied on. Exhausts are okay. I mean, they're cheapy Chinese ones, I think, but hey, they work and they're mounted and they match. Slightly intrigued as to how it's mounted, because you would normally expect to see springs clamping that on, but hey, it's on and it's staying there. Exhaust looks okay. There's no blows in it anyway, or certainly can't hear any. But talking about the industrial bit, it looks industrial. Oh, why are my knees getting older than the rest of me? Yep, happy. So swing arm's fine. I'm going to need to do something with a number plate and the mounting thereof. So the one he had with it was tiny, which at some point he's had there. There's no lighting on that. Now you can use like the light bulb type things that I've used before to illuminate, which is fine, but that's too small. It needs to be a decent sized one, which is going to look pretty wanky down there, I think. And how I'm going to fit it under there, maybe at an angle. That's what I've done before. Yeah. The rear light, he's mounted upside down deliberately because it fitted on better and he didn't need the downlight element that's now at the top, that's normally at the bottom. So that is a possibility. The big panels at the side here are effectively, as I'm guessing, obscuring the pipes for the airbox intakes, 1 and 2 on the other side. Now I wonder if they can at least be, I don't know, hacked back a bit. Don't know. We shall see. Chain looks fine. He's replaced the sprockets, which look spankers. Triumph wheels are original. They've still got the Triumph stamped on them, which is nice. He's got a slow puncture in the back. know what I'm going to do about that or how I'm going to find it, but it's something to look up. Pegs are looking a little bit bedraggled, but so be it. There's the battery extension cable, positive there, and a negative and neutral. Negative, he just tagged off the frame somewhere, he was saying. Pneumatic clutch, which is a new one on me. Horn, all fine. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what lies underneath. Now, allegedly, he admitted to a little bit Heath Robinson solution in terms of the cover. The hump is bolted on, and you need to remove the hump, and then the seat just falls out effectively, as he was saying. So, you know, a little bit rat-esque, but you know, that's not a problem. Now the question is what I do with it, and I don't know. I might just have to sit in front of it and stare at it longingly for a while and see what it tells me it wants doing. Now the riding position is quite high, particularly when you're on a slope. The riding position is quite sat up high. Let me just put my foot on the brake, otherwise I'll disappear down my driveway. So it could clip and lower all of the front end a little bit. I don't think it wants a straight bar. Top yoke won't handle one, so that's fine. So that's actually quite high. Whether or not I pull it down a bit and go for a bit more of a monkey boy stance, I don't know, but it's an option. I'll have a think. The clocks and all the front end just need to sort out. I don't like that. I mean, he did say he considered just deleting them completely and having a phone mount there so you can track your speed on a GPS, which is, yeah, it's a good way of doing it. But it is a speedo driven analog, sorry, that's the word I was looking for, an analog drive. I don't know, and I may have to start stalking Facebook for some groups and communities to see if there's any advice out there. But yeah, a bit of an introduction there to as yet unnamed bike. Suggestion from my missus was Bolt, because it's speed. Yeah, that's one. I think after that ride though, I think it's just going to be Beast, because it feels like one and it sounds like one. Right, that'll do. There's me opener for 10. What's your suggestions, boys and girls? Now I am cheating slightly here because it is still Saturday in my real world. The guy, when I got hold of him, was keen to just do it today. So I was like, yep, exactly. So left the Mrs. kids and at the park. I nipped back, met him, then went back and grabbed them. So I'm filming this on fairly late on the Saturday, but I'll put the video out on the Sunday because I won't be doing any filming throughout Sunday proper, because it's birthday time, and that would be a bit wrong. So yeah, what do you reckon, boys and girls? I think there's a lot of potential here, and I'm gonna have to take some photos and have a think, and just have a think of what I can do with this. What I need to do is make it day MOT compliant. What I want to do with it is make it ULEZ compliant, and what I feel a personal need to do is just do something with it stylistic. I don't know, that could just be retaining the black, frankly, sorting the tank out and retaining the black, or it could be something completely different. Completely. Right, that'll do me for now. Thanks very much all. Nice short one, bit of an introduction to the Beast. Ta-da!